major technical for SAP, which we are calling as an ABAP, which is called as an Advanced Business Application Programming Language. So what is the exact work which we have to do from ABAP, and what will be happening exactly by through this ABAP? So before of going to the ABAP tools and everything, first let us explain about of some introductions about of this ABAP. So what is exactly which we are discussing is introduction to the ABAP programming. So in this session, first of all, we are introducing this ABAP. What is an ABAP means? ABAP is a language. It stands for Advanced Business Application Programming Language. So which it is called as an Advanced Business Application Programming Language, and also it was a language which is used to develop the SAP software. It is also one language, but it is especially used for not for the any other application areas. It is especially for SAP. And one more thing is, it is not a case sensitive. That means on SAP ABAP program, when you are writing the conditions or anything, there is not a requirement to maintain as an uppercase and lowercase. There is not a problem at all, even if you can use the lowercase and even if you are using the uppercase also. That's why which we are calling it is not a case sensitive. And even when we are going to the any of the language, first of all, we have to know some of the fundamentals. So which we have seen that what is the ABAP and what is the things which we are having in ABAP. So basically the ABAP programming language contains the things of the keywords, data types, system fields, conditional statements, and even the control structures. So by today's session, we are discussing everything under this of the fundamentals, how it will be used, and even when you are entered into the company, by using of the keywords, what are the keywords which we have to use, what is the data types which we have to use, and what is the system fields which we have to use. So we are discussing each and everything step by step process in this session. So let's start with the keywords. In this, first of all, if you can see here, which we are having the keywords and data types. First of all, let's have a discussion about of the keywords. So what are the keywords? What is the ABAP keywords which we are having in the sense of, the first one is the types and data, and the third one is the like, and the fourth one is the type, and the next one is the parameter. In generally, we are using of any programming language about of all these things, but in especially for SAP ABAP, these are having the different types of the usages. The types consist of some type of the usage, and the like is consist of some type of the usage. Like that, each and everything, each and every keyword is useful for when during of a program execution and even during of a programming development, how we can use these things. So, and let's take an example. First of all, data types. So if you can see here, the first example which we are doing here is an example to calculate the 10th class marks using by the keywords of the data types. So by using the keywords and as well as the data types. Here the keywords of the SAP which is having the types, data, type, like, and parameter. And as well as the data types also can be divided into the two parts. So what are the two different types of the parts which we are having under the data types in the sense of, here we are having the two data types, one is the local and the second one is the global. So what is the difference in between of the local variables and global variables? So the local, for example, whatever we have defined in a program that can be useful within the program itself, not other than any program, which is called as a local. And the global, if you can define any of the data type that can be used for multiple of the times within the same program, or else multiple of the times in another program also, which we are calling it as a global. So now, today in this session, first of all, I am going to discuss about of data types and keywords. using with the data types and keywords, I want to write one program with the 10th class students mark list. So if you can observe the first screen here the first it will be showing that reports ZNAR4. That is my program number, the program name. And first of all, I am given here as an types. So what is the types? So which we have seen that is also one type of the keyword which we can use when during of a program. So what is the purpose of this types? Let's take an example here. First of all, I have mentioned with the types and ANU something. ANU of 10 and type is a C. That means I need one data type that is an ANU and that can have the length of the 10 digit and that type is the C. That means the ANU data or the field which can be there, that should be the maximum of 10 digits and it was a character. And even I require one more, name. That is also one type of the variable and which I am mentioning as in a string. So for the string even we can write as an S or the full name of the string also, it will accept the string values. And even I am giving the DEC, decimal. DEC type P decimals 2. That means I require another one with the name of DEC and that DEC is in a P pointers and that pointer should be comes with the 2 digits. So that is what we are discussing with the data types. So what is the main purpose of this data types in the sense of, especially by using of these data types, first of all, types, in these types, whatever I have declared, ANU, the name and the number and the DEC, by using these of the types, I am creating the parameters. So what is the difference in between the types and parameters? First of all, see what is the types. Say for example, the types will be useful for maintaining of the values, but whatever the things which we have mentioned in the types, that is in a global. That means we can use a multiple of the times within the same program. That is called as in a types. That is called as in a global variable. In the globalized, we can use this types keyword for a multiple of the times within the same program as like this. If you can see, observe here. Here I have mentioned the types with the name of ANU, a name and the number and the decimals. That means I am declaring the variables here with using by the types. And even after that, I am converting that into the parameter. So what was a parameter? What is a parameter in the sense of when using of a declaration of the data types or the fields or whatever it was, if we can maintain as a parameter, when calling off or when we are executing of the program or the file, then the system will asking the values of the fields. That means initially you cannot or you need not to initiate the field values here in the program. So when we are executing of that program, we can initiate the values and the system will ask the values when if it was in the sense of if we can maintain as a parameter of the data type. See, now here I am mentioning as parameter. Student number. I require the one field name. That is a field name of the student number. And that student number should be comes with the type and the type is ANU. Why? Because in the types that you have used the ANU, that is a character. As like a student name, type C. Why? Because even if I can use the name also, but I am directly writing as a student name of 20, the student name can contain the 20 digit length and it was the type of the C. That means character. And mathematics type number, science type number, social type number, English type number. Even whatever we have mentioned here, already the number, we can maintain another field same as the like. See here, Telugu type I. And Hindi like English. Others, maths type number, science type number, social like science. And English like maths, Telugu like social, Hindi like science. Like that also we can use that, the keyword of the like. And here I am creating the data total. So what is the difference in between of the parameter and a data? The parameter is used to call the values when in the execution of a program. When it was in the execution of a program, when we are using these parameters. But the total is in a data which we are using the data. Why? Because after completion of the input fields and everything, the output has to be comes into this total. That means I am mentioning is in a dummy values. That means empty value field. Under that value field, what I want. Under that value field, I want to maintain the total is equal to maths plus science plus social plus English plus Telugu plus Hindi. And even the percentage which I am mentioning here as even the percentage is equal to total by 100, and write instead of the some printf in the C, just we are using here as a write. And why should we have to use the colon here? In the sense of the colon is used for maintaining of the multiples, MR or Mrs. the student name with the hall ticket number, and then student number and the marks. Or so like this we can use a number of the keywords, whatever the keywords which we are using is types. The types is useful for the multiple of the usages as a global, and the data is for the empty declarations, and the type is to maintain the which type of the data declaration it is. Like is a copy of the something, and parameter which is called as a running values. That means which we can call as a floating values. And even in the local, which we have seen that type and like, and as well as in the global, which we have seen that types. So now we have discussed about of data types and as well as keywords. Now in the data types, the SAP predefinedly having some of the data types, like as an I means integer, C in the sense of character, P in the sense of pointer, string, D, F. Let's have a look about of these things. Data elementary types. The first one, for the character type, that means when you are want to maintain any of the field value with the characters, they are in the characters instead of the varchar like as an A, C and everything, we can simply write the C. That means we need not write as an a varchar for the declaration of the character. On SAP we can define the data type as an a C. And even for the integer, so for whatever the integers values, that means the numerical values, we can make it as an a I. And the string types are the S, and the date format like as an a DD, MM, YY, YY. The date type is in a D, and for the time type is it was in a T, and the floating point number is F, and the packet number will be the P. So in the SAP ABAP we are using the basic elementary data types are C, I, S, D, T, F, P. So including with this there is a lot of the things also will be there. But in the basics, instead of the varchar in the C or C++, we are using the C. Instead of the numerics, we can use the integer type of the I, like that. These are the data types which we are using on SAP ABAP programming during the execution. And now, let me take about of the some of the programs by using this, how it will be using. So let's have a look in the basics as which were discussed initially. How to make it. Let's have a look here. In the ABAP basics, first of all. So when we are entering onto the ABAP basics, instead of that one, first of all, let me clarity about of the ABAP. See, ABAP, Advanced Business Application Programming Language, and this is a programming language which is especially designed and developed by the SAP for the SAP system. And even in ABAP language, ABAP is not a case sensitive, and even which we have to know that every statement in the ABAP will be ends within a period. That period is in a full stop. That means on SAP ABAP, when you are writing to any of the condition, that condition will be ends by full stop. Say for example of like this, write hello world. At the end of the hello world, if you can see that, that was mentioned with the full stop. Full stop in the sense of it was end. And even the chained systems. So the chained systems, that means multiple of the conditions. So for example of here it was shown with the write hello world. Instead of that, I want to maintain write as an a write hello world and India. Both are the separate. In this situation, in between of the write and hello world, we need to mention one colon. That's what I am saying to say. Chained statements, if consecutive statements have identical part of the beginning, the ABAP allows you to chain these statements into a single statement. First, write the identical part once and place a colon. The identical part is in a write, and after that, colon. Then write the remaining parts of the individual statement separated by the comma. Say for example of which we said that write hello and write ABAP. Two separate conditions. But in ABAP, instead of this one, first of all, we can write the consecutive statement, and that was an write, and after that write, I am maintaining as this colon. What is this colon in the sense of whenever we are whenever we want to maintain the two different or multiples, that will be using by this colon. See, hello, comma, ABAP. Why? Because hello is the separate one and ABAP is the separate one. Like that, if you want to maintain the multiples, we can directly use with the separation by the colon. And even if you can use the comments also for this. So, what is the purpose of the comment? So, in before of the starting of the program line, if you can put as a star, automatically it will be comes into the comment in SAP ABAP. What is the comment? Say here, if you want to make the entire line as a comment, what we have to do that? We need to maintain an asterisk in before of that line, the starting of that line, that was automatically as a commented like this. And if you want to make a part of the comment, then enter the double quote after that. See, whenever I am writing a lot of the conditions, under that I want to make it this one only. I want to make this one only the comment. Then what we have to do that? We can make it this one. Double quote in before of that one. And this is the things. And even when you are going to the SAP, how to enter on SAP, first of all. So we have know how it is using and what is the purpose. Now let us have a look of how to enter on SAP. So when you want to enter on SAP, when you are double clicking on your SAP logon, immediately the system will be shown like this, one logon screen. In this logon screen, this is the screen which we are using as a GUI 720. 720 is the latest version of the GUI version, and there here which we are using the link of the IDES. That means the demonstration purpose logon, and select your server and click on logon. So when you are logging on here, immediately the system will place into another screen like this. So here what we have to do. See, when you are entering onto the SAP, first authentication is asking that what is the client and what is the user and what is the password. So here, what would be the client? What is the client in the sense of whenever we have made a purchase of the SAP package from the SAP AG persons, they are giving the authorization to us, which is called as a client. Under that client number, that means under that server, what is your user ID and what would be your password? Even the user ID is also not a case sensitive. Only the password is in a case sensitive here. See, enter the user ID and the password and then press enter. So when you are pressing the enter, automatically you are entering onto your SAP system. So this is the initial screen of the SAP system. If you can observe here, the first, this white color box which we can see, it is called as an A. It was called as an A, this one. The white color box which we can call as an A. It is an A command field. You can see here also it is in a command field. Even this, any of the instruction of the SAP can be given here on SAP on this command field, or else it is called as a command bar. Even if you want to hide this command field also, you can press on this button, automatically it will be hide, and even if you want to open that one also, we can by using this command field. And instead of using by the command bar, the total ABAP developer tools, so which we have discussed in the previous sessions also. ABAP is in a language which is having a multiple of the different types of the tools. As like as here also, all the ABAP tools has been maintained in this menu bar. In the initial screen, instead of using the shortcut key, we can use this tools also. Under the tools, what we are having. In before of that, I said that we can use the one transaction code also here. So, what is the transaction code? Let's have a discussion about the transaction code. See, what is a transaction code? SAP transaction code is a shortcut key. The transaction code is in a shortcut key attached to a screen. Instead of using the SAP Easy Access menu, we can also navigate a particular screen in SAP by entering the transaction code. That means simply we can say that if you want to access any screen or any application or anything on SAP for the functionalities or even for the technicals also, what we have to do that, we need to access that particular tool. Instead of access that particular tool by using the menu path or something whatever, we can directly access the tool by using this transaction code. That transaction code can be executed in this command field. Otherwise, we can use the tools also. See how the transaction code SC38. So, like that, the SAP system is having some of the predefined transaction codes here. These are the tools which we are mainly using. SC11, the transaction code. So, this is the transaction code which is useful for maintaining of a dictionary. So, what is a dictionary? Dictionary is nothing but like any database management. And the second one is a data browser. For that opening of the data browser, the transaction code is SC16, like function builder, ABAP editor, menu painter, screen painter. Like that, there is a number of the tools will be there. So, the tools can be opened by this transaction code of so-and-so, so-and-so. Even, first of all, we have seen that SC38 is an ABAP editor. And how can we find out this is an SC38 ABAP editor in the menu bar? This is in a transaction code as which we discussed. From the tools, we can open this tools, ABAP workbench, development, and ABAP editor. So here, by the tools, ABAP workbench, development, and ABAP editor. See, double click on the ABAP editor to open the ABAP editor, and ABAP editor can also open by the existing transaction code of SC38. So, as which we discussed, the ABAP editor can be opened by the SC38 or else by this menu path also. So, when we are entering onto the SC38, what will be happens? In the sense of when we are entering onto here, first of all the system will be like this, and it is asking about what is the program name. So, you are going to write one program, and what will be the program name which you want to create. So, anything we can give it the program name, but especially in SAP ABAP, the program name should be starts with the letter of either by the Z or by the Y. Why? Because all the SAP user defined transactions can be developed with the name of Z or Y. Say, for example of here, I have given as a Z first program, and I want to create that Z first program. Click on create, and even if you can see the ABAP program editor or ABAP editor's initial screen, enter the name of the program you want to create and press on create. All the customer programs, that means user exists, not the user exists, and not the SAP predefined, which we are creating the user required. All the user required can be starts with the, or the customer programs must start with the Y or Z. Anything will be starts with the letter of Y or Z. So when we are going to here, after creating the ZRY and press enter, then it will be asking the title. So what is the title of your program? So the title of program which I have given that this is my first program. I want to create my first program. That's what I have given them my title bar. And even when you are giving that type of the program, here the type of the program will be the executable program. So what was an executable program? In the sense of whenever we are giving all the conditions and everything, after that when you are executing automatically the program has to be get the output. That is an executable program. Executable program and then save it. What is the program title and what is the type of the program and then save it. So when you are clicking on the same, see in the next pop-up screen program editors will be in your program. For example, select the executable program as the type of program and press enter save. So when we are entering onto the same, automatically it asking about of the one object directory. So on your name we can create one own directory with here. So what is the directory which you want to create on your name? So I want to create any directory also we can create in the package name. Otherwise, if we can click on the local object, automatically it will be takes the local server. And press the local object and store the program in a temporary folder and enter. Automatically the system will becomes like this. This is the initial screen of the SAP, and here this is the screen where you can write the program of ABAP code. So in this screen, first of all, what we have to do? For the saving of the any program or anything, we actually are using this button. Otherwise, we can use the Control S also. Otherwise, we can use the F11 also for this creation of a saving of any program. And even the syntax check. That means I want to make a syntax check, whether any syntax programs will be, errors will be there. What is the errors? I want to check it out by using this syntax check. And even like as an activate, in generally we are calling as a compiling. As like as a compiling, here in SAP system which we are calling as an activate. For that we can use it as a control plus F3. So this is the compiling button which we can call it as an activate in SAP ABAP. And whenever you want to write any program or after writing of the any program, we just make it as a save by using this button or by using the F11 or the control S also we can use. And whenever after completion of the syntax check and activation and also the save, you want to get the output, you want to run the program. For running of this program, we can use this one or else by the F8. So these are the screen which we are using in generally for writing of the program. And whenever we are executing of this one, see what I am writing here is in a report of the Z program, write hello SAP ABAP. So I am writing simple condition which is using by the hello or write. In generally, whatever we are using, in generally anywhere which we are using as an A, in the C language, print F. Instead of the print F in SAP ABAP, whenever you want to print anything, we can just mention as an a write hello SAP ABAP. So there is an a write is the condition which is used to print anything in the output screen. So after completion of that write condition, when I am saving and testing of this one, see it will be showing like this. You are going to activate this program of Z my first program. The last statement is not complete. Why? Because it was showing an error, syntax error in the row of 11. In the row of 11, it was an error will be there, and the error will be showing it is an error. The last statement is incomplete or not complete. Why? Because which we have discussed at the last statement, it has to be ends with a period or a full stop. But here I didn't mention any full stop. Even when you are getting any syntax error, when you are compiling, the system will shows the report error with the row number and what we are missing. And see, if there is any syntax errors will be there. If there is any syntax errors, it will be displayed on the bottom of the screen as shown as above. Correct the errors and again check the syntax. If you are getting any error, it will be shows that like that. And even after it was completed and then it will be shows that program jet program first one is syntactically correct. There is no syntax will be there. And successful syntaxes will be checks this message type, and always this message type will be shown with the green color. That means automatically on SAP everything, the success messages will be comes into the status line with the green color. Whatever the status line will be showing as a green color message, which we can call it as a success message. And after completion of the success message, it will be showing to like this. This is your program, and just click here for activating of that one, and come down. See what will be happens. What is the output is the following screen. Select your program and press the continue and F8. Hello SAP program. That's what we have written. And even when we have written the program, that we have mentioned as a title of the program is this is my first program. That this is my first program has became here. This is my first program as a title bar. Title bar, that was title of the text which we have given. This has been displayed here, and we have written as a hello SAP ABAP has been displayed here. And this is the first we have used the how to enter on SAP and how to use the transaction code, and even how to use the so and so things, the basics. Now let's have a discussion about of the some of the data types and the constants which we can use. So this is about of the SAP basics and the introduction of the SAP ABAP, and in the further session we can discuss about of the ABAP data types and data constants. So this is enough for the ABAP something introduction, and the further next session we will go for the ABAP data types.